It's a great day. In each second, four new lives are coming to this world, and when they are born, they are treated as gender neutral. No matter what your sex is, that big bindi and eyeliner always existed. But from the age 3 to 5, the society started to differentiate us with pink and blue. Eventually, friends, family, society start to impose the idea of gender and gender role, which is when they start to realize no, this is not what I am. And that's when the most important event occurs the closet experience, where they try out their mother's or father's clothes and find comfortability and the feeling of being themselves. And this continues for a long time. And between age 15 to 20, it is a fight to come out from the closet. And this process is known as coming out. Intense bullying and harassing occurs during this time, and most of the transgenders have to leave their home because their parents don't accept the ideology of choosing their gender. And eventually, without proper education and social acceptance, they become unemployed, they become homeless, and they're forced to do sex work and beggary. And that's when the necessity to create, to showcase the power of architecture, to remove the social stigma came to my mind. I am Ammu Pradeep Kumar, and today I am presenting my thesis Transquility, a tranquil space for transgenders. What is the difference between sex and gender? Sex is a biological and physical feature with which we identify our body as. It may be male, female, or intersex. Whereas gender represents the roles, behavior, expression, and identities of a person to the society. And this is where we use the pronouns like he, him, she, her, they, them, etc. And transgenders are people who have gender expression that differs from the sex they are assigned at birth, which includes transsexual, those who have changed their biological body to the gender they prefer, non binary, androgynous, gender fluid, gender neutral. There are more than 46 types of gender. Kerala has a very low transgender population compared to other states, but Kerala is the first state to create a transgender policy. And the survey says that there are almost 25,000 transgender people in Kerala. Majority of people moves to major metro cities like Bangalore, Chennai, Mumbai, etc. The literacy rate of transgenders in Kerala are higher than the usual population, but unemployment is very high compared to other states. The life of transgenders in Kerala. About 58% of transgender students drop out before 10th grade. 54% of people have income less than 5,000 per month. 28% are raped by family members. 81% of population want to change their gender through surgery. 78% of people keep gender as a secret in their workplaces. 96% of people faces violence and cannot complain. 51% cannot get treatment from hospitals and 52% of population faces harassment from police. Now, some issues faced by transgender men. There is a conspicuous absence of welfare organization for trans men. In most cases, corrective rape and sexual and physical abuses are common tactics that trans men are put through to cure them of an assumed sickness and will turn them back into women. Violence and forced marriages are also very common in their scenarios. So, from all the studies that I conducted, I came into a conclusion with an aim to create adequate housing structures, to provide hygiene food, to create a safe and secure place for them to live by, to create a vocational training center and classroom to uplift their life, to provide an opportunity to showcase their talent by creating a cultural center, to create a spiritual center, etc. Now let's move on to their lifestyle and culture. Majority of transgender population in Kerala follows the Hijra community, which is a culture that drifted from the cities like Bangalore, Chennai, Mumbai, etc. Since the transgenders are forced to leave their home and survive by themselves, they develop a family bond towards each other. And this is the base of this rich ancient culture. Together with Guru, Chela, Natichela, and Shantichela, they create a family called Gharana, whereas some transgenders want to live independently. Now, moving to case studies, I did 3 live and 2 literature studies. The first one was Savitri Bhavan Araval. As we all know, Araval is a place without boundaries. People with different age groups, sex, gender, sexual orientation, and ethnicity live together as a family. Savitri Bhavan is the focal point of tranquility, which the users are empowered through different activities and functions. Savitri Bhavan is planned in 3 blocks, namely the main block, exhibition block, and the residential block, placed on an artificial mound, creating different levels within the building. The major things I learned from this project is the creation of different blocks which are integrated but can function separately and independently at the same time. I have also studied the elements which are depicted in Savitri Bhavan as to create that emotion of tranquility. The second study is creativity, which is a housing community within Araval. In this project, single units are integrated into clusters and then into community. The semicircular type of planning has a center focusing on an open green area which accelerates the interaction within the housing community. Different residential units like 1 BHK, 3 BHK, 2 BHK with double units and shared units are also worked out according to the needs of residences. The semicircular design utilizes the land more intensively and also create integrated social spaces. My next live study was conducted in Gender Park, situated in Calicut. The architecture elements that I learned from this case study is to create traditional typology and construction techniques with international standards. The new plan of Gender Park is completely based on the past planning of Social Justice Department. Some functions such as museum, which has less activity, was again highlighted by creating an entrance to the main administrative block through it. And the major flaw of this design was the whole complex was situated approximately 600 to 800 meter away from the main entrance. Next, moving on to the literature case studies, the first one I did was a Vagaldara Vocational Training Center situated in Gujarat, which is an example of vocational training centers and high school classrooms for adults. From this study, I learned how to create climatic responsive architecture without having any compromise in standards, circulation, and the sizes required for each lab under different functions. The next one is LGBT Community Center located in Los Angeles. And this is one of the most important case study that influenced me as it has many similarities to the design requirements and user group that I had. The main function and spaces of LGBT community center is affordable housing, educational cultural workshops, creating job opportunities, and LGBTQ health centers. Unlike in Los Angeles, where the housing typology is completely based on age and living status of the user group, in Kerala, most transgenders predominantly follow the Hijra culture, where they tend to live together as families, because of which a more family oriented typology is a necessity. In this project, I also explored how they have brought in this elements of tranquility into their design. They have done it through massing and also providing a series of courtyards and open spaces. They have also integrated an open space which is situated in the adjacent plot, creating an immersive urban plaza where everyone, without discrimination against their gender, sexual orientation, age, race, etc., interact with each other. This is the comparative study I did, and from this, I understood how the concept and design ideology should be implemented to such a sensitive topic. Planning also gives us an idea of how we can maximize the space utility by creating immersive interactive spaces. Now, moving on to the site study, my site is located in Kalamassery, Kochi, which is near to the Kochi Medical College. Kalamassery is a developing area and comes under PBD. Now, this map shows how transgenders move around the city, and these are the major sex work nodes which are present at South Railway Station and North Railway Station, and there are more private places for local clients. So, there is a lot of moral policing issues happening in this major sex work area, and this tends the transgenders to migrate towards the outer part of the city like Kalamashiri and other developing places. And this map shows where all the transgenders have medical care and hospitals, their residences and lodges. My site is located in HMT Colony and has an area of 2.2 acres and is owned by Government of Kerala. The public transportation is within 500-meter radii, and as we can see, it's a barren land and is oriented in an east-west direction and is well connected by the HMT Colony Road on three sides and has a topographic difference of 13 meter in altitude. The red part shown in the figure is the highest point, whereas the blue point shows the lowest area. The site is surrounded by industrial areas such as GAIL, KSM, then by institutional areas such as SIME Institute, and then also by residential area like HMT Colony. And the major threats in this area are waste dumping, wildfires, and heavy vehicle parking from the industries. So this is a slope analysis, and it is very clear that 74% of the area comes under 4 to 10% of slope, which is a buildable area, and about 16% of area comes under 0 to 4% slope. From the hydrology map, the major water catchment area is located on the southern part of the site, but it has no waterlogging issues due to the topography of the context. Now, the major strength of my site is, of course, its context, as there is a provision for development, as the industrial areas provide employment opportunities and also the institution area gives educational opportunities. Creating a design brief. These are the programmatic components of my requirements. Housing, vocational training center, R&D and library, a psychological clinic, etc. were the major components of my design. Community center, cultural center like auditorium, dance halls, etc. Sports and recreational area, commercial stretch which includes boutiques, beauty salon, etc. were also provided for uplifting and nourishing the life of transgenders. This is the area calculation I did comparing with the case studies I conducted and the standards. And it has a grand total of approximately 15,250 square meter area. Now, this is the functional and proximity study done to get a clear understanding of how the project should function on the basis of connectivity, user group, entry, exist, built unbuilt relations. These are some of the principal design ideology for community center based on some of the books and articles I read. Now going on to the design and concept development. Tranquility is coined by abbreviating tranquility for transgenders. My idea was to create tranquility or repose in architecture. These are some pictographic representation of me exploring what kind of massing can bring tranquility and a landmark statement to the project. Now, this is a pictorial depiction of how the massing changes over each stage, creating more connectivity and integration in design. Now, moving into site plan. As for the transgenders who feels privacy is the key element to self-discovery, the site is divided into three: a public zone, the semi-public zone, and the private zone. The site is approached by three access points: a defined entry with a view from the main road, an entry to interactive zone to integrate the users of SIME Institute, and a rare entry giving accessibility to the housing community, the semi-public commercial kitchen, and also the services. As for the main intent of the project, green areas, spiritual zones, and other public facilities are placed to invite civilians into the Tranquility Center. The highest area of the site is crowned with a spiritual center, which acts as a citadel overlooking the whole site. The built structures are oriented based on the view from the road and climatic factors like wind to bring the tunnel effect to the open public spaces. The inner core also has a physical and visual access to the spiritual center. Moving on to the site plan, a person who is approaching to the site first sees a buffer green space, then an open public plaza, an amphitheater, and a public park. The built structure gets visible slowly as the person approaches the main entry to the site. The entry gate frames the view of the main block and the commercial avenue. This is provided in order to uplift the life of transgender people. The major road then leads to the vocational training center, to the parking, etc. And here is a secondary exit point which is only opened up when needed. Now, the side road opens into public exhibition area which also acts as a babysitting area when there are no exhibition and also an auditorium, and then it leads to a residential complex. The rear entry has a food takeout cum security cabin connecting the community kitchen and the residential admin area. This entry also has direct visual access to the spiritual center. Here, a pedestrian entry is also provided through the micro housing and family residential cluster. Now, the central plaza is enclosed by public and semi-public zones. It has landscape areas and OAT. Now to the interactive zone near sign. Skating park, basketball, tennis court, etc. are provided, and the students have easy access to the inside library, student center, cafeteria, spiritual center, etc. Here in this zone, the residents of every cluster come together to the aviary, to the rock garden, gaming area, spiritual center, etc. Here, plantation areas are also provided to create self-sufficiency. This orthographic view shows the building placed in different levels from lower to the highest. This view gives us an idea of how the functions in each levels are connected, and a new perspective to the user groups by creating maximum opportunities for them to interact and remove the stereotypical view of the transgenders in the society. This is a diagram showing the proportion of landscape area compared to the built structure, which takes approximately 27% coverage on the site. And here, the area allocation and relation of built components with the landscape area based on the function and user group are studied. And here is the circulation showing major, secondary, service and pedestrian path on the site. This is a section along the admin block and vocational training center showing the connecting structure the student center. The section BB cuts along the east-west direction showing main block, R&D block and showing spiritual center at the highest altitude. The ground floor has a commercial area with boutique and beauty salon and a mini lecture hall where people from Kudumbasri and other social community meetings are conducted. The first floor is accessed through two grand stairs and a 10-meter wide ramp along the south facade, connecting into the vocational training center. The entrance of the building then leads to the inner plaza where we can have a direct visual access to the spiritual center. It has the main functions like trans lounge, exhibition center, administrative area, etc. This is where I have implemented my concept of pure emotions through architecture, which are evident from these sections. This is the view towards the core area from the main block. There is an OET and other cultural functions like dance halls. And here there is a direct visual access towards the spiritual center. This is the trans lounge area where they form Jamaat for Wreath, adoption, Jalsa Puja, etc. It is a spiritual lounge as well as an area for allies to interact with transgenders. Now, this is the entry to the exhibition area, the chamber of loneliness, seeking light into their life. This is the hall of shattered mirror. Whenever they look into themselves through the mirror, it shatters their dream and identity. It shatters their inner self. This is the corridor of colors, depicting the closet experience. saris and dhotis of different colors, stone tablets educating about different types of transgenders like non-binary, gender fluid, transsexual, etc. are depicted here. And this is the closet. The feeling of divinity, the feeling of finding themselves, but also a narrow space with a lot of hope. And next is coming out, the age of depression and social exclusion, depicted with slanting beams and pillars, creating a tension to the viewers. Strange new worlds, a world leading to self-discovery and acceptance. Now moving on to the auditorium. The auditorium has three main accesses, one through the exhibition center, the other through the side road, and the other one through the central landscape area. We have a huge lecture hall here, overlooking the triple-storied wall with the water body beneath it. It also acts as a meditation space, so this huge volume creates a feeling of peace and divinity. This is the auditorium. Since the transgenders are into fashion, it is designed in a way to accommodate photography workshop and also for runway modeling. Now, this is a vocational training center placed on multiple levels. It has 4 entries, 2 from the open community area south to the main block and the other major entry through the institution road, mirroring the SIME Institute next to the site. Vocational training center can function separately as well as collectively together with R&D block and educational admin block as a distinctive complex of the site. The building has an elongated courtyard through which the students can move around. Seating spaces are also provided in this area. This is the view from the side entry to the educational block, which includes the vocational training center and the R&D block, library, etc., connected by student center. And this is the connection to the core area to the site. The adjacent to it is the skating area, the steepest area of the site. Now going to the private zone. This is the residential admin block. Adjacent to it is a transitional or emergency home where people who have attended operation from the Kochi Medical Hospital can be accommodated here. This gives them a fresh view and an opportunity to choose the lifestyle of their choice from observing other transgender communities. This is the family housing area, which has a private courtyard and then a common courtyard and then a community courtyard, integrating the whole residence into a family, which is the basic concept of this type of housing. On this cluster, there will be a centerpiece around which seating areas, small shops and structures where they would come together, conduct meetings, sing, dance, etc., leaving no one alone in the entire complex. Next is the micro housing unit. It is a double-storied building inspired from the streets of Gujarat. A street divides the housing unit. The avenue have gardens and outdoor exercise equipments. This makes the area very active, not just for the residents but also for the whole community. Each unit shares a courtyard with each other and the same applies to the upper floors. Here is a community kitchen and the dining area is between this green space where they can interact with nature and with the community at the same time. Now service roads are also provided around the building and for the plantation area. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you.